Welcome to Growth Diary. If life is too difficult, take a look at this upper body boy at the World Cup in Qatar. At the opening ceremony of the World Cup in Qatar, the interaction between a boy with only upper body and the traveler, played by American actor Morgan Freeman, filled the opening ceremony with warmth. The boy's name is Ghanem Al-Mufda, and he is 20 years old this year. He has suffered from a very rare disease since he was born. He has no lower body, and the doctor asserts that it will be difficult for him to survive. But he continues to exceed the limits of his body. Not only learned to walk, but also put on football shoes with his hands as feet, and he was unambiguous in dribbling, passing, and even shooting on the football field. He also learned skateboarding, diving, rock climbing, and boarded Mount Sham at an altitude of 3,000 meters. He is an extreme sportsman. Now he is studying at university, determined to become a diplomat. He said, "People should use everything they have, not cling to what they don't have." It is because of reconciliation with himself, not entangled in physical defects, and always relying on himself, that he has lived what he is today. No one is born perfect. Only by accepting oneself without being humble or overbearing can we go to the light. Don't be in a hurry. Don't be slow to improve yourself, and you can have your own world. Only by tempering yourself in a hurry can you live a life without regrets. 1. Be neither humble nor overbearing, accept yourself. Yu Xiuhua said, "Whether the world can accept a person is secondary. Firstly, whether you can accept yourself is fundamental. Because happiness never comes from the outside, but from the heart." A very simple truth. I accept the world that does not accept me, and the problem is solved. Writer Kai Chongda said, "I hope that I will live a more real life, be more honest, and be more accepting. Even more like every part of the ups and downs of yourself, in order to like this world more." Zhuangzi told a story. Ziyu and Zici are good friends. Once, Ziyu had a strange disease and became hunchbacked. Zici was very surprised to see that his good friend, who used to be suave, turned into an ugly monster in a blink of an eye. Zici found it difficult to accept. But Ziyu didn't seem to care at all. Zici asked him, "Don't you feel sorry for yourself?" Ziyu said, "No, why should I be sad? If my left hand becomes a chicken, I use it to announce the dawn. If my right hand becomes a bow, I use it to shoot birds to roast and eat. If my spine were the wheel, and my spirit the horse, I would ride it all over the world." When we can't change anything, the best way is to accept ourselves. Later, Ziyu became a famous scholar. There is a saying in the book, "Accepting your imperfect self." Everyone can be their own idol. The key is to admit and accept the complete self. There are cracks in everything. That is where the light comes in. Only by accepting yourself without being humble or overbearing can you get out of the trough and move towards a brand new tomorrow. 2. Don't rush or slow down, improve yourself. I heard a saying, "A body that can raise the moon must bear countless sunsets." Tan Yuanyuan, the 46-year-old ballet queen, is the only Chinese principal performer in the world's top ballet troupe. She has been on the stage of the Spring Festival Gala 3 times, and the audience commented on her like this: "As soon as she comes on stage, she will attract all eyes." But her journey to the top spot has not been all smooth sailing. When she came to San Francisco, she was repeatedly excluded and teased because she could not speak English. He was discriminated against because of his yellow skin, and was ridiculed because of his lack of three-dimensional facial features. The roles that originally belonged to her are often replaced by others, and sometimes she suddenly finds that her dancing shoes are missing before going on stage. But she wasn't discouraged by it. She quietly understands the role, trying to figure out the artistic conception of the dance over and over again. Even if you don't have your own show, you don't relax your practice at all. As soon as I have time, I repeatedly improve my dancing skills, and I am always ready for the stage. During a performance, the original chief was injured in an accident, and she temporarily rescued the stage. Unexpectedly, the outstanding performance became a blockbuster. On the way to success, she calmed down, was able to stand on the bench, kept her own rhythm, and finally won her own flowering period. Jobs once said in a speech at Stanford University, "Life is a process of connecting dots and connecting lines." Some experiences may not be able to see their meaning at the beginning, but they may play their unique role after a few years. When you survive the cold days, the warm spring is waiting for you. Don't be in a hurry to succeed, keep improving yourself without rushing. Time will give you a satisfactory answer. 3. Take your time and train yourself. I heard a saying, the road ahead is full of quagmire. Lying down is called sinking, standing up is called rebirth. A young girl in Jiangxi was newly married when her husband passed away in a car accident. She and her half-year-old child were kicked out of the house by her mother-in-law. She wanted to go back to her natal home, but her mother asked her to give the child away, saying that she could remarry in the future. She chose to take her child away from home and delivered food in Anqing, on Hubei. Every day, she rides an electric bicycle with her child on her back and shuttles through the streets and alleys. Her dream is to buy a house in this city and give her children a warm home. Someone said to her with emotion, "It's really not easy." She replied, "Nothing is difficult. If you don't suffer now, when will you suffer?" Only 21 years old, it is time to suffer. Someone asked her, "What should I do if there is no elevator and I need to climb stairs?" She smiled and replied, "Who will climb stairs if young people don't?" There was not a single complaint about life in her words, and her bright eyes were full of longing for the future. A weak girl, facing the hardships of life, waits and does not rely, shoulders resisting life, and gives the child a warm embrace with both hands. No one's life is easy. If you always cling to difficult situations and complain about the injustice of fate, you will only double your pain. There is a saying, everything is counterproductive. Maybe it is a foreshadowing of surprises. Life is a hammer that can cure hypocrisy and weakness. Hone yourself in life. One day the light and heat you emit will warm the 4 seasons and fill the garden with flowers. Scientists once did an experiment, planting a tree in a closed and suitable environment. After the tree grew up, they found that its branches were very soft, the roots were very shallow, and the survival time was not long. Scientists are puzzled. Under the favorable conditions of temperature, humidity, light, fertilizer, and soil, why is it difficult for trees to grow into useful ones? Finally, a major discovery was made. It turned out that there was a lack of wind. Without the resistance of the wind to sway and shake, it is difficult for a tree to become strong and full of vitality. Imperfections in life are sometimes just the driving force for growth, and the shortcomings in life often increase the thickness of your life layer by layer. Only by letting go of stubbornness and reconciling with your own situation can you live a life full of joy. May you be able to be the ferryman of your own destiny, no matter what difficulties you face. That's all for this issue. Thanks for listening.